Hi, lovelies. Welcome to Managing My Money with Rosa. Today is Transfer Thursday, where we talk about how we are intentionally investing for our future. If you're new here, my name is Rosa. My channel is all about my personal budgeting journey. It is about cash envelopes, sinking funds, savings challenges, how we stash our money, where we stash our money, why we stash our money. And twice a month, we come and talk about our investing portfolio. If any of that is of interest to you and you have not already, I'd really appreciate if you would take a second, hit subscribe down below. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and spending a little bit more of your time with me. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. And everyone, please take a second, smash that thumbs up button for me. All right, so we are going to start with my IRA tracker. If you've been around, you're going to hear some things that are the same, but just going over things. So we are currently working on our 2024 IRA. You can put a max of $7,000 into it. We did not reach that last year. Last year's priority was paying down our debt, and very minimal, basically $20 a check, went into my IRA. We have since paid off our debt, gotten back in debt, and are now working on some other priorities. And then we will refocus on getting back out of debt. I ended up getting my honey a newer truck. So in that process, we have upped how much is coming into my IRA. It has not fallen off, but it still isn't going to reach the $7,000. Now, because this is my 2024, we actually have until April 15th to fully fund it. Won't happen. We are up to $750. I get paid tomorrow, actually. And when I do, I will then again drop another. I've upped it to $100 will go in there next time, so that we will end up with $850 put into my IRA for 2024. And then we'll pull out my 2025 tracker, which is sitting to the side, waiting for me to begin. Next year's or 2025's max is also $7,000. I don't see us making it there just because there are other things that are priorities right now. But that's where we are with my IRA. And then I figured we'd talk some about my investing. So we invest for a couple of different reasons. I believe that if you're going to do something, you need to have a why for it. So our why for investing is for future. Originally, when I got into investing, mind you, 8th grade, decades ago, we did an investing activity where we bought stocks. We saw who in the class could make the most money in the shortest amount of time. Well, my group didn't win, but I learned a lot of things. And with today's day and age, you can now access trading very easily. There are a ton of different ways and a ton of different platforms that you can do to invest. That investing, we have chosen to use Fidelity. I picked them originally because they had for the most part, zero transaction fees, meaning I can get in and out of something without having to pay them any fees, but also because they're a full service brokerage, which means that I can pick up a telephone, give them a call, and they will help me, walk me through and answer some of my questions. They also have amazing trainings online, and I just feel really confident going into things when I go inside of Fidelity. So we originally started with bounces, ups and downs, make a little bit of money here, lose a little bit of money there. Hopefully we'd make more money than what we lost. And then I bought into some Apple stock, again, waiting for the bounce and contemplating whether I was going to hold it long term. And all of a sudden I got my first dividend and I went, holy cow, that's a whole area that my brain had never processed. We can make money through dividends. And that's what this is when we talk about my Transfer Thursday. And basically what we're going to continue to talk about are just my dividends. We're not going to talk about what stocks that I play bounces in. I've got a handful of those, but that's not the priority right now, mostly because I just don't pay attention to it during the day. I don't have time to sit and watch. And because my dividends, I'm hoping long-term will end up helping supplement our income when we do retire. So I wanted some short-term goals that I wanted to meet or exceed by the end of this year. A short-term goal can be anywhere from, a year, 6 months, 2 years, just depends, all the way up to 5 years you can have short-term goals. But these were for us to have by the end of 2025. We have lots and lots of positions. I want to say 20-ish. I think it's more than that. It might be closer to 30-ish positions that we have are earning dividends from, and my goal is to put at least $5 every month into those focus positions. There are some that I cannot wait to get out of, but we are so far down that to get out we'd lose money. So we're sitting and biding our time, because I've learned you can sit and bide your time. They will eventually go back up. So the goal is to buy at least $5 of our focus positions. By the end of the year, I want to have an estimated annual income of $750. This for me is a stretch goal. I don't know if we're actually going to make it, because that means that I have to put additional money, not just what I'm pulling from my checks in. So this really is a stretch goal for us. And then by the end of the year, I would like to have 4 positions that drip at least 1 or more shares per month. Drip means I do a dividend reinvestment plan where when I get paid from them, they automatically turn around and buy additional shares instead of putting it into my account. And I want them to purchase at least 1 or more shares per month. We started the year with 0, and we are up to 4, yay, positions that officially drip 1 or more shares. I am working, and actually I have a 5th, but it's not one that I am counting for a priority position, so it doesn't count in here. And then I'm on track. I've got 2 that I'm contemplating if I'm going to get those up by the end of the year or not. So those are our short-term goals. And then of course you have to have long-term goals. And these for us are 10 to 20 years. So 20 years would put me at retirement, ready to receive Social Security, just in hopes that we can make these hopefully closer to 10. Some of these are closer to the 10 mark. Some of these are closer to the 20 mark. I'd love to replace my honey's income. This isn't going to happen anytime soon. And you guys are the absolute most adorable when I talk about replacing his income. I know that that's going to take close to $500,000 million in our portfolio, because we don't have anywhere close to that in there right now. But I understand that that's going to be a lot. And that's why it's a 10 to 20 year goal. It may even be 20 years out instead of 10 years out. And I'm okay with that. We currently have a rate of return about 8%. My goal is to keep that rate of return at 8% or higher. So although it's a short-term goal, it's also a long-term goal, because I don't want to lose that. So my dividends right now are paying us approximately 8% a year. And then by 10 years, I want to have every position drip 2 or more shares every month. I think that is completely reasonable. By 20 years, my goal is basically I don't need to put any money in, and I am reaping the rewards of it at that point. And then I would love to have $100,000 portfolio. I think that's closer actually to like the 5, about the 7-year mark. I'd love to have $100,000 portfolio, but again, that all depends on how much we're putting in, how much my stocks grow, and that type of thing. Currently, my portfolio is worth $7,931. We'll talk about that in a couple of more minutes, but that is where we are sitting at right now. When we just talk about the priority positions that we are focusing on, it's just under $8,000. So do I see $100,000 happening in 10 years? Most definitely. I even see it happening before then. So those are our long-term goals. So now we're going to talk about what I purchased and what I finished purchasing out in the month of March. AAP is Advanced Auto Parts. We actually do more than $5 a month. I take $25 of every one of my honey's paychecks and drop it in there. It ultimately is doing 2 things for us. One, this is one that does pay a dividend. It's about $0.25 a share, meaning every 1 share we get 25 cents. So we have 24 shares right now. We'll get, what, a quarter times 20 is 5, 6. We'll get about $6 when it's all said and done come April, or when it's time for us to get paid this month. So this grows a lot faster because this is a priority for us, meaning $25 every one of my honey's checks. When it reaches a particular price point, we will turn around and sell. And the intent really when purchasing Advanced Auto was to have this position grow and play it as a bounce. It's a benefit that it also pays us a dividend. All right, and then let's get to, we did a really good job, got the majority of our positions early in March. And then we paid the other $60 in the end of March. Come on, keep going. Where are they at? Oh, did I? Oh, how funny. Oh, silly me. We already finished out everything we got in March. This is to talk about what I got for the first check for April. Silly me. Okay, so Acre So depending on what brokerage you use, you can tell them you want to either buy full shares, or you can tell them you want to buy a certain dollar amount of shares. I tell Fidelity I want a certain dollar amount, and I always put in $5, and then it spits out if it really bought the whole $5 or a little bit less, and then it tells me what partial shares I was able to purchase. Not all brokerages allow you to buy partial shares. Mine does. So I put in $5 for acre, and I ended up with 1.028 shares. AG&C, I put $5 in. I got almost half a share at 0.489 shares. AARC, I put in 5. It only gave me 498, and it purchased 229 shares, so roughly a quarter of a share. BWLP, I put in 5. I got 499, and I got just under half a share at 4.34. Cube, I got the whole $5. Cube is a little bit more expensive than everything I've shown you up to this point. The more expensive the stock is, the less of it I get. For example, I can tell you that BWLP, because I know I got almost half a share and I put $5 in, I can tell you right now that it's probably sitting at $11 or $12. The same thing with acre. I put $5 in, I got a quarter, so basically it's what, 5, 10, 15, 20, it's roughly $20 a share. On the other hand, who was it? Acre, I put in $5 and I got over a share. That tells me that this stock is under $5 a share when I purchased it. So depending on how pricey the share is, or how pricey the position is, determines how much you get. So Cube is a little more expensive, and I only got 0.119 shares. Duke is one of my 3 most expensive ones out there. $5 doesn't get me a whole lot. I got 0.041 shares. This one is creeping, and then my IBM, and we'll get to it in a little bit, is also creeping. I am focusing on those two and trying to get them up to 2 full shares. So like right now I have a share and a half of Duke. It's okay, but it is growing slowly but surely. I'm also getting paid from them, again, slowly but surely. This is not one that's going to happen fast, because this price point for me is a lot expensive. Duke hangs out in the $100 mark per share. So for me, it's a lot. EPD, put my $5 in. I got 0.148 shares. FAGIX, I got almost half a share, 0.499. FDHY, I got 0.103 shares. And then FSPTX. So this one, these 3 that I just did are Fidelity stocks. Sometimes I get paid from FAGIX, sometimes I don't, it just depends. And then FSPTX does not have a dividend. We are in this essentially for long-term growth, which means I want to continue to increase the position so that down the road somewhere we can turn around, sell it, make a profit. IBM is the other one that is expensive. IBM is, I got 0.041 shares. I think IBM is, and I bought almost $10, $9.94. This one I believe is sitting around the $200 mark. This is outrageously expensive for us. If I were to do this again, I would not have purchased IBM, but I got into IBM at a rock bottom price for 1 share. Just so happened they paid me a dividend, and I was looking for growth at the time. So this is one that we may keep long term, we may just turn around and sell, just depends, but its yield is bringing down my overall, how much I'm bringing home, because I think its yield is like, it's under the 4%. Forget 8, it's under 4%. So because of that, IBM is one that kind of sits the fence. Do we keep it, or are we just waiting for the long-term growth and then turn around and sell it? I haven't quite decided what's going on with IBM yet. Mo, we got $5, $4.97, and I got 0.086 shares. Mo. Oh, and then O is where we stopped. So these are everything that we got the first half of the month. The rest of this we will get the second half of the month. All right. And since we are kind of recapping the end of March and what all happened in March, so I have a spreadsheet that I put everything into, and ultimately we got paid $52.76 in the month of March from all of our dividends. I have jotted down who are my monthly payers, and then I fill in what I got paid from them. It's going to help me see the growth over the year in one nice place. It's also going to show me across the bottom how much I was getting paid. You know what I realized I forgot? I forgot to put in my quarterly dividends. That's okay. So my portfolio value, I told you, was at $7,931, but I need you to understand that my portfolio is down right now, meaning that it is in the red, essentially. I have a handful of stocks, some that are not part of this that I'm showing you, that are way down. So we are officially down $414 in all of our positions, meaning that really that $7,900, really we're sitting at about $8,300 is what should be in there. I'm not worried about it. This is a long-term game. This is not me turning around for bounces, so I'm not worried about it. We currently yield is 8.15%. My yield on cost is 7.75%. Some of these are in the high teens. I have one in the 20s percentage, pays me percentage. I have some of these in the 9.87%, and then I have some of these that pay me 1% or 3%. It's really low. Again, some of these I'm attempting to get out mostly because I'm done with the dividend and I want to put that into something else that pays me more. And then my annual projected income, remember I told you that 750 is where I would like to be. I think it's this one. It is. I want an estimated income of up to $750. We currently are at $646. So I don't know. Like I said, that 750 is going to be a stretch goal for us. I get we're only the first quarter in and we have the rest of the year, but it's a stretch goal. In order for this value to increase, I have to put a lot more in than $100. I have to put a lot more in order to get to that $750. So crossing my fingers, trying to strategically play things out. I told you that I am playing with two that I'm concentrating on. I may put extra into, and that's OBDC and PFLT. We didn't talk about those today because they're the back half of the alphabet that I don't worry about until the next time. So just, it's growing, it's doing its thing. If you have any questions, I am not a financial consultant, but I've been playing in all of this roughly 5 years. I love all of it. Most of these I got into because of their payout ratio, the yield that they had on them. I've actually gotten out a handful of them because I was done. I was done. And I have a handful of them that I'm waiting to get out because I'm just done. They aren't things that I want. It's not where I want my money, but I'm down in them. So just trying to have done some research and just have decided those are it's time to go. I've also picked up a couple of positions for their yield, but also because I like the company. For example, Cube is new to me. This I think I got into at the end of last year. Cube is new to me. It's the storage place, guys. They had a 4%, almost 5% rate of return. I was like, heck yeah. So just looking into the companies, figuring out what I like, what I don't like. So all of these are personal choices that I've gotten into. You always need to look into anything you decide to invest your money into to see if it aligns with your philosophies, your investing strategy, what is it something that you're interested in doing? Just because some of the companies I'm in, I don't agree with what they do and what they sell, but you know what? I'm okay because of what they're paying me in return. So it's a whole big, you have to make your decisions on what you purchase based off of you, not off of what somebody else suggests or recommends. But if you have any stocks that pay 5% or more that I haven't mentioned, I would love to hear them. I do have some on my watch list that I just need more money. I just need more money. I just need more money because I can't get into all of them and continue to grow things. So just swapping out as I need to. But if you have any questions or just want to say, hey, I'd love if you drop it in chat, and I hope you have a great day. Bye, guys.